so we can talk some real talk and, do what we do every Wednesday. Of course, you see who I have right here, Mr. Nasir Lee.
Hey, Facebook Live. I hope all is well. I'm Nasir Lee from the great city of Chester. It is my rising opportunity to sit here with you today and really just talk about life. We deal with so much issues in the world. We turn on our TVs. We see that celebrities are getting in major trouble nowadays. We see that, people in our community are striving to uplift and build our community. But it's, what are we doing in this moment to change people's lives every day? What are we doing to support those that are affected due to gun violence, who are affected to drug and alcohol, who are affected to their own addictions and afflictions? So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hey, I'm loving it.
And I love all the work that you're doing. You are such an inspiration to many, and
thank you.
It doesn't go unnoticed. I'm representing the younger generation, the new school, and
that's right. We need of all ages on here. That's right.
That's right. We're watching you.
Yeah, just to go through a few things, y'all. Look, y'all know, Living in My Truth first year anniversary is coming up June 28th. Tickets are out. I put out the honorees, the ones that my fabulous guests that was on this show, giving up that real raw information and education and telling their stories and, helping you all, with information on drug and alcohol, and as a person themselves, as the addict and the alcoholic. It takes brave people to do this. This is not something that we just jump up and say, okay, we're going to do. And when we talk about it from the heart. We talk about it from the soul. As y'all know, I'm a grateful recovering addict. You know what I mean? My drug of choice was cocaine. I tore it up, straight up. You know what I mean? And God blessed me. I found God through all of this. You know what I mean? I become the person who I am today through all of that.
You really have a story.
Hey,
you have a story.
Hey, I don't have a shame with the game either. You know what I mean? I can talk that real stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way out is to get real.
And that's how people understand who's phony and who's real.
You gotta be authentic.
Like, you have to be your authentic self. You have to live in your truth. And oftentimes people run from the truth, and instead of being honest and telling who they are as an actual human being.
And you know something? Being honest is hard for us because we become liars because we have to lie. And when we become the liars, we live the lie. You know what I mean? So we'll always be lying. We become habitual liars. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like unjust. Let's don't be liars no more. You have to learn how not to be by learning how to get honest.
That's true.
Make sense?
That's true.
That's what we have to do. And some people they don't get it. This is why this live is on here, Nasir, so that family members, loved ones, just people in general can learn how we work.
Absolutely. And
why we work this way. Why we become these monsters, quote unquote.
Right.
You know what I mean? But look at a lot of us today.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Succeeding
in life, period. Right. Sitting in some of the same seats, that you are.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying?
That's
Sitting next to people, don't went way past some people.
Way past some people.
You follow what I'm saying?
It's
way
not
past some people. It's not forever if you don't want it to be. Exactly. It's not forever if you don't want it to be, but it's hard. It's hard to readjust. It's definitely hard to readjust. This is me with my phone. It takes me forever to get the live on here. I'm not no techie. This is all you young folks
Take
stuff.
your time.
Hey, look, I end up getting it. But y'all remember, we have some very honorable people who's being honored. Hey, Regina, Nellie, hey. Teresa, hey, look, I love
Good evening, everyone. I see everybody.
Hey, look, I love my people. I'm telling you,
right.
we like a whole big family because they support this thing.
That's right.
They be on this thing. You know what I mean? They spread this by sharing it. Y'all don't forget, because sometimes I forget to say stuff. But don't forget to share this live after this. You know what I mean? They've been supporting me from day one. And when I tell you they come on faithfully, they come on faithfully.
Somebody say, hey, auntie, little bro, hey.
Hey, Nelly. That's Nelly, right? Oh, you're going to see a lot of people.
I see a lot of people.
You're going to see a lot of people on this bad boy.
What's amazing about the internet today is that you see a lot of people, they spread like wildfire the bad news.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really see people are spreading and talking about the good news. In your case, people are talking about your good news, and they're talking about your journey and your truth. And that's what got me so amazed and tuned into your platform, is the fact that you're real. A lot of people, they have podcasts, they have many live outlets, and I haven't been on any of them because I feel as though they're not genuine, they're not authentic, they're not real, and you can't feel that vibration while you're sitting at home. And for me, I felt it sitting in my living room at home, like, wow, this woman has a story to tell. I haven't dealt with addiction to your level or to your magnitude.
Right.
I haven't dealt with, that per se, but however, I know people that have. And for me to look at your platform and share it with other people is just truly inspiring and impactful, because you never know what people are dealing with. Some people just need to talk like this. Sit on your couch and have a conversation.
And just talk.
That's it. Just talk.
We just talking.
Let's just talk.
You follow? And you know what? It took a while before, like, it takes a while before some people can say, oh, okay, I'll let them know that I'm watching.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people watching that don't speak. That's fine, because they support. And they don't have to. And in this lifestyle called recovery, we don't force anybody to do anything. We don't tell anybody what to say. Wow. This has to come simply from you.
Naturally.
It has to come from you. And it has to be willing that you want to do it. Or, you know what I mean? Are you ready to do it? I have people calling me on my, what do you call that thing?
Facebook Messenger?
The Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
The Messenger. You won't believe the people that I get on the Messenger.
Wow.
A lot of them I don't even know, but I try to answer everyone that I possibly can.
And I'm sure everything is confidential. Confidentiality is everything, I'm sure. And it takes a lot of courage just to reach out and just to give that next step of what's next.
That's right.
That's powerful.
Everybody don't recover like me. You know what I mean? And I don't expect for everybody to. But what I have to offer as suggestions to folks is what we do and how we do it. That's how I got it. You know what I mean? I truly believe in 12 Steps to Narcotics Anonymous. Wow. Some people don't. Some people believe in going to church. Some people believe in, looking at a tree outside and meditating with it.
Whatever works.
There you go. It's whatever works for you, long as you learn how to stop using.
Wow.
Long as you find a higher power greater than yourself, because this is not something that we can do by ourselves. You know what I mean? This is like the devil's work.
So, speaking of that, so what can we do as people that haven't dealt with recovery to assist those that are going through that process? What can we do to better support them, better uplift them? Because we see people that are constantly suffering in silence.
Is not to not pay them any attention. Let them know that, they're still loved. Let them know that, we have care and concern for them. Even when they not behaving right. You know what I mean? Drugs and alcohol is poison. And poison the body can't handle poison. Poison transforms the brain. You follow what I'm saying? It makes you feel good at the beginning. I'm even speaking of the sociable drinkers, because a lot of sociable drinkers is out here walking around with no sense
whatsoever. They act like they're better than everybody.
Because they don't do it like we do it. You know what I mean? But what you're doing is, drug and alcohol and addiction is suicide. It just takes its time. And it's very silent. Wow. You know what I mean? And it's very convincing to make you think that how you do it versus how we do it, they're safe and we're not. You know what I mean? They're stronger, we're not. You follow? But anybody in their right mind, this is just my opinion, my voice. Anybody that's in their right mind knows that poison is poison.
Wow.
Anybody in their right mind knows that you can't take cocaine and take it and nothing happens. Because some people will take a hit off of cocaine or a hit off of any type of drug, opioid. You know, and it could be their first and last.
Wow.
They just die. You know what I mean? Some people can hit and hit and hit and hit for a decade until they die. You follow? But they're walking dead.
Until the timers run out.
They walking dead because they can't stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Walking Dead alive. Put it that way, like zombies or something. You know what I mean? Because their desire has overwhelmed everything about them. Mm-hmm. You're eating, you're sleeping, you're thinking, you're living, your motherhood, your fatherhood, your sisterhood, just period. Mm. And your dependency come truly, and your love become truly on the drug of choice itself. Wow. Make sense?
Makes sense.
And you can try to stop because you want to stop, but the poison has already done what it's done.
Taking its course.
And now it's going to beat you up. Mm. Now it's going to punch you in your face if you think you want to stop. You know what I mean? Wow. And then if you do that and you stop for a week, stop for a month, then it's going to give you an uppercut, flip you, knock you down, rub it down. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to have it because it's going to make you hurt. It's going to make you suffer. It's going to take your mind and just put your mind totally on it. You know what I mean? To the point where you have to have it because you're going crazy. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Marta. Y'all know I'm always stopping and talking. You know, hey, Rachel, how y'all doing? The addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It's just cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know what I mean? And these certain words, cunning, baffling, and powerful, explains it all, but you just can't grip it to understand what that actually means until you start wanting to stop, until you get educated on it.
And that's the first time I've ever heard it like that, and I'm happy that you put it in more of layman's terms. Put it more in layman's terms for our people that don't understand those big terminology of words.
Oh, that's hard. You know what I mean?
It's hard to talk about that, but when you put it to that extent, it's like, wow, like you really are not just someone that's just talking. You're just living proof. We're finally on her phone. Listen, we're living in our truth. She just figured it out, and this is awesome. This is really
crazy, and y'all, they know how
I can't thank you so much, Miss Tracy, for inviting me on, just to talk for a while. Because sometimes we just need these conversations. You know?
Absolutely.
In our busy lives, there's always something new that's happening. For example, you just working your technology for today. It is good. We're getting it done.
I got it.
She got it on her own. I didn't help. Yes, you do. And I didn't help you at all. But this is what faith and love looks like. You know, it's staying committed to your dreams and to excellence. And every day it's like, what's next? How do we move forward? And this is one step of moving forward. Having a conversation so people can, one, hear it, then two, share it, and then, but also most importantly, apply it.
That's right.
And I think
we call that, you got to learn how to listen so that you can hear, and then you're able to see. You follow? Like for me, I come up with little things, because I was one of those people, y'all. I was one of those people that when a person sit up with me, we used to call them big words. And they want to use, remember that? This is something we used to call it big words. And they want to use all these big words, and I'm looking like this, like I'm reading their lips.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm following it. I'm following it through the vibe of what they're saying. Because they're going to say something else with these words that's going to make me, that's what
that's what you meant all this time.
But you'll never know that I'm doing that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because my pride won't allow you to, because see, they'll call you dumb. Right. They'll call you stupid. They're like, is she listening?
Is she educated?
You know, what is she, stupid? Right. You know, this is what I used to think. You know what I mean? And not Tracy Allen. You ain't gonna say that I couldn't keep up. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Exactly. And probably 20 of the words that you use, I probably didn't understand. Probably 9 of them. Or 10 of them.
Living your truth.
But you would never know, because I know how to wear a mask. I know how to make my face look like I'm all in it.
And sit with the best of them.
And be comfortable doing it. And sit with the best of them.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying? And then I just started saying, you know what? You got to just learn these things. Right. And I just started listening to those words, and I go look those words up. Yeah. And then I still do it to this day. I still, because everybody like to sound all intellectual and smart and, you know, all of that, but you don't have to be that way all the time. You know what I mean? Put your shoulders down sometimes. You know what I mean? And just talk.
Just talk. Have
a conversation. Just talk. You know, you don't have to make me think that you're so smart and you're so intellectual.
And
you know,
and all
of that. Yeah, you know, because that don't work with me.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people that you don't need a college education to be successful.
But that's what,
or
I
to
mean,
deem that
we
you
need
are-
that college education
You
because
do need
we
it.
can't even work without one
You do
anymore.
You do.
GED don't mean nothing.
It don't mean anything.
GED don't mean nothing. And I struggle
And it's a
hard to
shame.
get my GED.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I struggle to get my GED, but guess what? I got it because I was determined to get it.
That's right.
You follow?
That's right.
Yeah, when in my addiction, in my time, I quit school 9th grade 4 times.
Really?
What did I?
Wow.
What? And I still
Wow.
went to school and I knew I quit.
Wow. Still showed
I
up.
still showed up and I quit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Back then, it was just like I was all over the place.
Right.
All over the place, just trying to be here and there because I wasn't good to be around the quote unquote smart people. In my head, society had me thinking that the smart people in school was the corny ones.
Yep.
I needed to be out there selling drugs and smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying? That's where I got off the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that's where I
What they
was.
said, put your shoulders down.
Yeah, put
That's
the
right.
shoulders
Put them shoulders
down. You know
Just
what I
relax.
mean? You
Relax
ain't gotta
yourself.
sit up there and act that way.
Nah.
You know, with me, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's who you are, it's who you are. But come on, sometimes
Just relax.
you can tell the realness in a person. You can tell the authenticness in a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God just gave me a blessing with that. I can look at you and we have these conversations because I'm good. I look you right in the eye. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a person that can look you in the eye can kind of intimidate you. And you know what I'm saying?
Just from the very
And you'll
start.
take them wrong. Yeah, you'll take.
And you get
Remember, all I'm
scared.
doing is trying to pay attention.
That's right. That's it.
To your
And
butt.
show
You know what I'm
that I'm
saying?
listening.
Yeah, let you know that I hear you. I
So-
see you.
so-
I'm listening.
So speaking to that part, what made you glean to me? I know that we've met quite a few times, but what made you like really glean to me? Like, hey, he's somebody special, or hey, he should be on this show.
You know why? Real recognize real. And I'm a person that I make good choices today.
Mm.
I make very good choices today. I can feel you, and I'll let you know too. You know, if
Because I heard Miss Tracy don't play at all.
no, it's not that I don't
No.
play. It's just that I'm not corny.
You're not.
You know what I mean? I already had to wear masks out there for a quarter century of my freaking life.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? And that wasn't a good feeling.
Mm.
You know, but I've always been real. Everybody that knows me know that. I've always been real. You know what I'm
And
saying?
thorough.
And
That's
seriously.
who you are.
You follow? And I know who I am. I know what I've done. I accept things I can't change. I change things I can. I have a 12-step that I live by today. You know what I mean? And when I got clean, I wasn't like as I am now. But every day, I got better.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Even today, I am still learning. I am still catching on. And I am still acknowledging a whole lot of things.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It like just never stops.
Never stops.
You know, and you can't put it down like it don't exist no more. Like I got enough that I don't need to continue to grow. I don't need to continue to learn.
We got work to do.
You know, absolutely. Every single person on this earth, really. You know what I'm saying? But when I met you, first time I met you was in Elevations.
Mm.
You
That's way back.
was open.
That's
Yeah, I
way
met you in
back.
Elevations. And it was just something about you. I just watched how you strived. I watched your demeanor. I watched how you dressed. I watched your ambition, like you
Wow.
wanted to be somebody. You could just feel that in you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But I also felt like I watched you, you know, trying to live for people.
Yeah.
You know, versus being who you are, because God has a
Yeah.
walk for you, young man. Just
I
know
believe
that. You know what I mean? And it's showing. It's showing now. You know what I mean? When you start looking, getting into yourself more than allowing the people, places, and things to dictate to you what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing, and I'm there for you and I'm gonna help you, but really they hurting you. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah. You can't help everybody.
say it again.
You can't help everybody.
You can't, and everybody
And
ain't
you
gonna
can't-
help you.
And you can't, I've learned in life so far that you can't help the ungrateful. You cannot.
Hey, look, they
You
smile
have
on
to
your
move
face.
on.
The ones that act like they not, you're not even being ungrateful. The ones acting like they freaking
You have to
haters.
move on.
They real haters because you getting to the point where you getting this thing, you catching this thing, you surreal with this thing, and now you might get in their way. You know what I mean? You might step on their feet.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? And then it's so categorized in the city. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got this group here, you got this group there, you got this one here, you got this one there. When everybody can come together, and Chester can be great.
For the greater good. And
It can be great.
I'm
Absolutely.
very grateful that you said that because, for a very long time, and again, we're living in our truth. We're talking about, things straight up and personal. I was let go from the mayor's office in Chester, and that was one of the toughest times in my life. One, ever being fired from any role ever, but what God has shown me is that a title cannot define you.
That's right.
I'll
give you some hearts on that.
A person cannot deter you from doing the work that you've been doing, and you continue to show up every single day.
And you don't let
you
nobody
do it boldly and you do it proudly.
You jump in your dream.
Absolutely.
It's your
or
dream.
get in your way.
You striving, you fighting for this, you striving for
single
this.
day.
And sometimes people can act like they want to help you, but they not. They hurting you.
They pull you right back
They'll
down.
pull you right back down because everybody wants a title.
That's right.
Everybody wants the title, but what are you going to do with the
What
title?
are you gonna
Now
do
you
with the
got titles and can't be who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just a title.
Just the title.
You follow?
Just
Because
a figure
all the
sitting there.
wannabe titles and came in and messed it all up.
Literally.
You follow what I'm saying?
Literally.
They need some new, young, fresh people.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because we getting old now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's next?
We need to be out the way. Technology ran me out the way.
And this is really my first time really speaking about this loudly. You know what I've been through, but what I will say is that I see myself traveling all across America and beyond.
Awesome.
Hosting shows and really uplifting young people, letting them know that they can be special to this world.
Awesome.
And serve our community. But not only that, like to end gun violence. We see young people in Philadelphia, Delaware, Chester that are completely lost. And we have adults that are saying, oh, they're lost. They don't want anything for themselves. That's incorrect. You have to help mold them, help shape them, help give them the tools that they need to be successful. And that's the real work, giving them that hope and also showing them how to get there and loving them. You know, I asked the young person, when was the last time your mother or your father or anyone that loved you said they love you?
We talked
And
about
a lot of
that
them don't say
here
that.
on one week. You know, I didn't tell my kids that.
Wow.
And my mom didn't tell me that. But I knew that my mom loved me.
Through
and
the
I knew
tough
she
love
loved me.
process.
Yeah, through the tough love that process. But my mother would jump high, hell over waters for us. And my mom had 9 children. 10 actually.
It's real.
You know? And she did it by herself.
Yeah.
You follow? But I didn't tell my kids that either. Like when they was born as baby, oh, mommy loves you, mommy this, mommy that. Soon they got the roaming all around the daggone place, working mommy's nerves, and mommy wanted to be out. Mommy wanted to still be out the street. So, what? Mommy loved them streets. Mommy loved that society life too. And you went away now, shoot. And I'm thinking, yeah, my mom and them, they're gonna be ones taking care. They ain't gonna see them do no wrong and all that. Thinking the wrong way, but thinking it was okay to do that because I was seriously believing that. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know that I ain't worried about it because I know my mom and them ain't gonna let nothing happen to my kids, you know, leaving them on people. I had a family, you know, in the project, we family. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the neighbors here get them, you know, here, you know what I'm saying? Roll out. Don't give me a chance to roll out on you, know, because I was vicious with that.
Oh, boy.
I was great at that. And I said, that's why my kids couldn't get over on me, y'all, because I used every trick in America. I had a reason, a way, what I needed to do, and I'm hauling. Sometimes I used to keep my clothes around the corner.
Ready to go.
What?
Ready to go.
What? Because I was there, right?
Yep.
But I never told my kids at an age where they can feel that I love them. Yeah. Because it just wasn't what I heard. Coming up, we were just talking about this. I believe on a couple lives ago, we was just talking about it. I know Patricia was saying how it was. She was used to that. She was used to her parents telling her that she loved them. She thought that was normal, you know, for a family. But it wasn't normal for my family, you know, and what I was doing. So I heard my daughter, my oldest daughter, and my 2 daughters. They used to always tell their father after they left them or was on the phone with them, I love you, Dad. Hold up. You don't tell me you love me.
Right. I never heard that. Right.
They said, because Mom, you never say that. We used to that with my dad. I had to really think about that. It bothered me. It bothered me, you know? And I had to do soul searching. It bothered me, and I was like, Dad, I don't tell these kids that I love them. I tell my grandkids all the time. You know what I mean?
And it took a lot for you to go back to the drawing board to assess yourself and say, hey, I haven't. And it
I
takes a
had
lot
to
to
surrender.
admit that.
Yeah. I had to surrender to it. You know, I always take inventory.
Mhm.
You know, on almost anything with me. That is my life.
It's like self-constructive
Said
criticism.
I have to
Self-constructive
take inventory. You know, because there's times that they could bring stuff up to me that I never even thought about.
Right.
You know what I mean? That they say that I still do today. And I can't get mad at it. You know what I mean? I got to process it.
That's
I
right.
got to take the inventory on it. You know, and put all this together and say, you know what, they're absolutely right.
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem with surrendering or submitting. You know what I mean? Because that's what my 12 steps taught me. You know what I mean? To do it with ease. It doesn't even bother me today. You know what I mean? Because I know that I've done some things that just wasn't right. And I don't remember everything that I did.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's not a little thing, that's a big thing. But to me, it would have been like a little thing. Okay, I can tell y'all I love you. You know I love you. And that's what I said.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But their father would tell them that all the time.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was normal to them with him, but it wasn't normal hearing it from my mouth. So I started doing that.
Wow.
I say it's never too late to start. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now we always tell each other we love each other.
And that's
Now
what
we
matters
talked
most.
about it, you know what I mean? And we chatted about it. I always tell my grandbabies I love them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want them to feel like my kids was feeling it like I was feeling.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I've learned in recovery that, you know, everything that goes on and how it went on don't mean that I have to carry the torch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some things you can realize, I can realize today and say, okay, now this is where this has to be broken.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I have to relight the torch. You know what I'm saying? And make change.
Definitely.
Because change is one of the keys. Change is constant.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And change is just going to come.
Mhm.
I like that, like the song.
I like that.
That was cute,
Change
wasn't it?
will come. Gotta play some music in the background. I like that.
I like that. Sometimes I can be talking, I can be rolling, and it just sounds so.
It just flows
It
so
just
naturally.
flows.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
It
even when it
flows
comes
because
from
it's
your
the
heart.
truth. It's where it's
Comes from
coming
your
from.
heart.
It's coming from here. It's coming from here. And sometimes I can sound crazy as I don't know what.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the way
But
I'm
somebody
feeling
there
about
called
it.
it though. Somebody on that live has called it today.
Let's go through it and see who's on here checking you out, my brother. Hey, Gilda, how are you? And my girl, Marta Cotman, I love her to death. That's my friend. And Rachel Cardson's on here.
Love
Big
her.
Jeff, that's my brother right there. Jeffrey, you
Big
know.
facts.
Yeah, that's my, he's not only my friend, he's my director on my job.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Me and him, you know,
Nice.
that's my buddy, that's my brother.
You're in good company with a lot of good people.
What? I'm trying to keep
Seriously.
my surroundings great.
That's
I don't
right.
want nothing but great people.
That's
I
right.
want people who think like me, you know what I mean, who
Yes.
can help me grow better, you know, who understand me, who don't talk down by me,
Definitely.
don't take my past and try to make it my future. But see, that's a little bit okay because I thrive off of that.
And
You
the
know what
people
I
that's
mean?
gonna
I grow
defend
off
you
of that
even-
part. Absolutely. They
defend
know
you
me
even
for
when
who
you're
I
not
am.
present. That's
Exactly. And they know me for who I was because I tell them. You know what I mean? I shared a story. I ain't got a problem with that. You don't have to hear this about me. Oh, and if you heard something, now let me tell you the real story. Let me tell you, it went
Come
like
right
this.
directly to the source.
It went like this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? I loves me.
Hey,
I loves me. And I'm learning to love me more and more and
Bottom
more every day. And that's what you
Bottom
got to do, my brother. You got to love yourself and know that God loves you.
That's right.
You follow? Because he's the one that's going to make it happen.
Make it
He's
happen.
the one that's going to make this thing work for you.
That's right.
You just got to believe in him, give it to him, and he's going to take care of it.
That's right.
I couldn't understand that for many years of my life. You know what I mean? Well, it ain't working for me. And all the time he was
Hey.
working for me every day I
Showing
woke
up
up.
for you silently.
Showing up.
Yeah.
Always there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I tell you, that devil, that's disease as well. I call it devil disease because he's a devil.
Literally.
You follow what I'm
The
saying? It's
distraction.
cunning, baffling, and powerful. I tell you, had my head blocked like that and my puzzle all over the place. Took my
Wow.
brain and turned it into a puzzle. And I couldn't get the right pieces to put it where it needs to be.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I chose the street, and I chose drugs. You know, I chose alcohol. I chose all the things
So many
that'll kill me.
detours. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll kill me, and you know, mess the whole brain up.
Wow.
You follow? It wasn't easy or simple to get this brain back in his head. You know what I'm saying? The way it's supposed to be, and I'm
you
still
look
working
fabulous.
on it.
Still look fabulous.
That's the physical part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
the inside.
It's the inside. That's the physical part. I'm always put that thing on, you know, and look nice, but I got to grow. I got to fix this, and I got to fix this. And I got to make sure that these two things is homies forever. You know what I mean? Till death do us part, because this is how it works. One can't work without the other. Yep. They were there for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was put together with this thing for a reason. We got Phyllis. Phyllis is always on. Hey, Phyllis.
Hey, Miss Phyllis, how you doing?
You know, you probably going to know a lot of names on here. Janice Williams.
Wow.
Again, my brother Jeffrey. That is my brother. Veneer Bradshaw. She's on. She said, living in my truth.
Living in my truth.
See how they do? You know, they put this down because we talk real talk on here. Real, raw, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they come on here, because I know, you know, they make me feel loved. They make me feel like, you know, the right choice of people is coming on here for me. You know what I'm saying? And my conversation for them. You follow? You know, and we teach and we help each other just by listening.
Just by listening.
Listening is so big. Just by listening. And I look forward to this thing every freaking Wednesday. Even if I'm sick. Yeah. I'm going to lay around till I can build enough strength to get on here at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And God gave me that strength every time. You know what I mean? Because that is my promise to do what I'm doing. Absolutely. You got Rolanda.
Hey, Miss Hollis.
You know that person? Yeah. Tiffany Richardson. She's
hey,
on here. Veneer Bradshaw. She's on here. She said, that is one of my gifts. I can call a spade for a spade. Ooh. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? You sure can. I can too, girl. Right. I can be, I
confidently.
I can feel you.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel you. And you gonna know it. You either gonna know it through the eyes, you gonna know it through the face. You know what I mean? And you gonna know ain't no mask on the face.
At all.
You follow what I'm saying?
At all.
And I'm gonna get you right on out of my circle.
That's right, real
you
fast.
Follow? Right on out of my circle. Whether or not it means anything to you or not, it doesn't matter. It means to me.
Exactly.
It means to me. You know what I mean? I know what not trusting somebody means. They wasn't trusting me for a long time. Family members, children, a lot of people. You know what I mean? So I know what that feels like too. But I also know what trusting someone feels like as well too. Wow. You know, and I know that people can lose trust in us. You know what I'm saying? Or you can lose trust in a person, but you can't keep dwelling on things. You know what I mean? This is just me. I don't dwell on it no more. You know what I mean? You know, the thing is going to get right, and it gets so bad to a point where it affects me physically. You know what I mean? And it affects me mentally. I got to let it go because it's too much weight. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm a sick individual, and disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You follow what I'm saying? And this is where it likes to get me in the gut. It likes to put me in a corner. You know what I mean? Through hurt, through pain. You know what I mean? Through sorrow, through all those type of things. It's just like it's the doorway to come back in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it'll slide through for an addict like myself. You know what I mean? And it could take me right back out again. You know what I mean? It could take control because that's what it wants to do. But I'm aware. I have awareness today. Wow. You know what I mean? That's another one that you got to work on real hard. You follow? You know, you got to be aware. To be aware is to be what? Alive, right? You know, so I look at life that way, you know, anymore. And my 12 steps teaches me that. Wow. My 12 steps teaches me that. And I don't fear it either.
You got to welcome it.
Yeah, I don't fear it. I fear disease, though. You know what I mean? I ain't saying like I'm so bad that I conquer over disease. No, I fear that shit. So I got to keep it, I got to stay alert of it.
At all costs.
You know, I got to keep it in front of me versus having it behind me.
That's right. You
know, because people say that they say that too. They'll be like, Tracy, you've been fine. You good. Oh, I am. But I'm aware. I am. I appreciate all these beautiful compliments. Right. You know what I mean? But I know who I am. I know how I live. I know the sickness that I have. You know what I mean? That's the same if you have bronchitis. Right. When it comes on, you know it's coming. You know what I mean? And when it's there, you got to fight it to get back to be normal. You know what I mean? Well, absolutely. My sickness is the same way. You know, it's just not easy. You can't take an antibiotic and get rid of this. Right. The only medication and antibiotics that you could take for this is recovery help. It's help. You need the help to get it back where it needs to be.
It once was.
Where, and it's worse when you relapse. And we call that relapse. It's worse when you relapse. When a person, listen, y'all, When a person been doing drugs so long and they've been clean, you know, they get clean time. I told you disease works on your emotions. It works on your thinking 24/7. You know what I mean? And when you start, you know, feeling good and feeling great, you know, and like when I was sharing with you guys, I couldn't tell y'all what it was. You know what I mean? How this thing was beating in my head. I was dealing with anger. I was dealing with frustration. I was dealing with, you know, Dad, you know, I felt like that. That's not cool. All these thoughts was going in my head. You know what I mean? So I had to share that with you all. And I had to keep using my tools. And I had to call my sponsors. And I had to talk. I finally had to talk to somebody about it. Because trying to deal with that situation by myself, I was losing. You follow what I'm saying? I was losing. You know? And I don't like to lose. I don't. I don't like to lose. You know, and I had to take my own advice that I give on this show every Wednesday. I had to do what I said, you know, I suggest to others that they should do. Right. You know what I mean? But disease is so cunning, baffling, and powerful, it can catch you. I'm telling y'all, it'll catch you at the least moment. You know, it will catch you, you know, and that's why when people say, girl, you not, no, you ain't like that no more. You're not no junkie like that no more. I'm going to be that all my life. You know, this is what they mean by that, because this disease hates when you win. So it's going to try to come and get you when you least expect it. Wow. And when it comes, it's coming silent. You know what I mean? And then it's going to come and it's going to make you hurt. You follow? Then it's going to come and it's going to take your attention off of being an addict. And forgetting that you have tools, rules, and regulations to deal with. That's deep. And then you try to deal with it by yourself, and that's one of the things that we can't do. You follow? But your feelings about what's going on will be in front of you. You follow what I'm saying? Wow. And you don't want nobody else to know, because you feeling shame, you feeling hurt, you in pain. You follow where I'm going? Absolutely. And then that's where it's like, I'm getting her, I'm reeling her in real good. You know, she thinks she's strong, she thinks she can do this, she ain't followed the rule that keeps me down. This is disease talking. She ain't did nothing that she was supposed to do, because I got her. You know what I mean? I got the puzzles and I'm pulling pieces out, but I'm going to make her hurt some more. I'm going to make her feel guilty some more. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I was feeling, guilty, when it wasn't done and was meant to be done that way. You follow? I stopped, I just was like, man, look, God, I need you right now. Not knowing he was still always there. Always working. And guess what? People came to me. Wow. They prayed for me, over top of me. You follow what I'm saying? I finally opened my mouth and I shared it. You follow? And I was getting all the right answers. I was coming back. Every time they said something, it just made sense. It just started taking the pieces and putting them right back in those spots again. Alignment. Right back, lined it up again. Right back in those spots again. And it showed me something. You know what I mean? It showed me that my God is powerful. My God is good. And I got the right people and places, people in my life. You know, never talked about me, never put me down. The right people in your life, man. Never talked about me, never put me down, just guided me. Just guided me with all the right things to say, even when some of them I didn't want to hear. You follow? And I always say, you know, Trey, you got to take inventory. Never think that he can't handle it. He's not going to give you nothing that you can't bear. You know? And I've learned that, because I heard that being said, but I never was in that moment. Yeah, like really in that moment to feel that. The instinct. Yeah, I mean, I felt that through this situation. You know what I mean? Because it was deep. You know? But today, guess what? He put the pieces right back together. Right. Today, guess what? I understand. Today, guess what? What happened is what happened. I didn't do it deliberately. I didn't do it out of malice. It happened, though. It was big, you know what I'm saying? It was dealing with one of my kids. You know what I'm saying? And my child was hurt. You know, and I took it as it was my fault. Because at the end of the day, I did it.
Right.
You follow? And I was a young girl when I did it.
That ownership is something.
Ain't it something?
It's something.
I was a young girl when I did it. And I hurt because my baby hurt it. You know what I mean? And then look, Disease was so vicious, he gonna throw some more at it when he seen that I was picking up off of the hurt that he already gave me. So he wanted to stump on me some more.
Wow.
You know, and made it 5 times as worse. You hear me? 5 times as worse. But what's done is done.
That's right.
And none of us can change it.
Yep.
None of us can change it. But we can talk about it.
But we have these seconds, we have these hours, we have today to get through it. And you've done a heck of a job. I mean, just to hear your story, I only know a glimpse. You haven't told me all of your story, but to hear what you've been through, it shows that you never gave up on yourself in the process. So for that, we say thank you.
Yeah, you mean through my addiction?
It's huge, yes.
Hey, look, through my addiction, that was a fight. It was a struggle. You know what I mean? I have people who had been clean for years, you know, that I didn't even see around. And I used to say that I would never be like them. You know what I mean? I would never let myself get that way. And I'm thinking these people are dead. And I walk into this thing called NA, and here they are.
Wow.
Looking good. Sounding good.
Welcoming you.
Welcome me right in.
Wow.
You know, I'm still calling them by their slave name, their street name. They telling me today you can do that, but tomorrow you can't. You have walked into a new world and a new life.
Wow.
If you want this, you can work on this, and you can get this and have this.
Wow.
We're here to offer you information and suggestions.
Wow.
You hear what I'm saying? And we're not here to judge you, because none of us can judge any one of us.
Wow.
Because all of us have done most of the same thing. You follow what I'm saying? And just looking around, it was so emotional. My eyes just teared up.
And again, you thought these people were dead and gone.
I thought a lot of them was gone.
Wow.
Because I didn't see them on the streets no more. You know what I mean? Or they was in jail.
Lord,
they wasn't
they're
there.
waiting just for you.
Hey, look.
Waiting just for you.
Those are people who got clean to help the next suffering addict to get clean.
I'm sure you all are still in touch till this day.
To this day.
Wow.
To this day. I mean, you still have a lot of us in the room. Some of us had went back out. You know what I mean? You know, but like same as in my work. If I have a client that goes out and get high, when they come back, I'm going to welcome them back. It ain't no da-da-da, 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 you're going to do. Disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. This is a part of it. This is what happens. You know what I mean? This is what happens. So you can't put that person down because we know how it works. You just got to offer them more information. You know what I mean? And starting from the beginning where they first started. Period. That's what I do. I go through the beginning. Look, you just got to, you miss something. You miss something somewhere. You know what I mean? How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it?
You know what I mean? You miss something. You got to write more. You got to know that this thing is real. You know what I'm saying? You just missed something. Start over. Because everybody gets a day. Everybody gets one day. And I thank you for coming back.
That's right.
You follow? I thank you for coming back. This is why I'm saying, like, people that's using, you're welcome on this show. People who's relapsing, you're welcome on this show. You know what I mean? You are great help to any addict or suffering addict or the people who don't understand how we work and how we live. You know what I mean? You are a piece of education and information for everybody that watches this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us struggle with that same thing. You know what I mean? They keep relapsing. They keep relapsing. I don't know why I'm relapsing. Because you're choosing to.
That's right.
It is one word, 2 letters, 1 syllable that keeps us safe. And is the power word for us for the rest of our entire life. And that's no. No has to mean no by any means necessary.
Wow.
You cannot fight something that you don't understand. And disease is a process. And there's a whole lot that you got to understand about it. You got to learn about what you're fighting before you think you're fighting.
It's true.
Because this sickness will make you think, yeah, that's how you do it. You got enough information. You got enough education. Heck, cocaine, I've been clean for 40 years. Ain't no enough education and information. I'm not getting information about it. Indeed not. Every day is changed.
Yeah.
Every day this process can change. Every day is something else added to this thing.
And what works for you may work differently for someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a thing.
And that's another thing that, living in my truth, I hope is helping people to know that how I get clean is just how I do it. You know what I mean? I just share my information, education to you because something that works for me may can work for you. And some things that work for me may not can work for you. It's called building the bear. You know what I mean? Like, we used to build the bear. What was the name of those little bears? Everybody went to the mall and got build a bear.
Build a bear.
Build a bear. You got to build the bear.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to dress it and put on what you want it to be. And we got to put our thinking and with our emotions and our feelings, and everything. And we got to build what's going to work for us. I didn't agree with everything people were saying, but I took what I did agree with. You follow? And the more that I took in, the more I got confident in my own thinking.
Because still you have morals and ethics and values for yourself.
I had a long way to go. I didn't like God. You know what I'm saying? I didn't trust God. I didn't like God. I had a long road to go. And I will never forget, I say this every time, y'all, is a man called Doc Watson and is a man called Levert Todd. And my sister, they taught me how to connect with the higher power. They taught me what to expect. They showed me how. They said, this is going to happen, this might happen, but we don't know what's going to happen for you, but this is how you get the connection. Wow. And they caught my attention. I felt them. I felt the sincereness from them. I felt not being judged from them. Because they both was recovering addicts.
And that's another thing, too. People's walk with God and walk with religion is their way. And, you really have to take your time. You have to really show people, hey, this is what works for me. However, you might have a different chain reaction, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, give it a try.
They told me you need to shut up and you need to sit down and you need to listen because you think you know every damn thing and you don't know nothing.
Yep, but they still didn't hold a gun up to your head. They still
didn't
do that. And
sure didn't.
That's the part that we need more of in society. And, we talk about this stuff all the time. It's just, how do you understand what works for you?
Sometimes people will be talking to you and you don't understand. This is what I was talking about. We was talking about earlier. You're using all these words. I don't know what you're saying. That's why the lady that I had there, her name was Miss Rose, right? And she was a white lady, right?
Wow.
And she was so plain looking. To me, coming from where I come from, you looking at this weird behind woman. You know what I mean? What could she do for me? You know what I mean? That woman stuck by me as well.
Wow.
That woman stuck by. She did not give up on me. And the way I was treating her, I would have been said, I'm done. I'm done. Wipe my hands of her.
Treat them like a Jehovah's Witness.
But I didn't. Yeah, but she didn't. You know what I mean? That woman gave me anniversary cards for years until she died and everything. And I had the utmost respect for her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because she did not give up on me. It was my sickness. It was my ignorance. It was the behaviors that I had as an active addict. You know what I mean? Not trusting nobody, not caring, you know what I mean? And not sure this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because that's what disease makes you think. I was eating, I was sleeping, you know what I mean? I was feeling comfortable, you know what I'm saying? And it was free.
Right.
It was free. I was plotting. I was planning to get my welfare check because they get you back on welfare and get you food stamps and all that. And I had all my plans ready.
Right.
To go back out and continue to do what I was doing. And today I can tell you it would have took probably like an hour and a half to be right back on the bottom where I left off. But then you couldn't tell me that. So when everything that I learned through my recovery, I offer to the suffering.
Wow.
And I always tell them, today I just keep it straight and I keep it real. And I always say, look, a player can't play a player. I'm a player hater.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a player hater. I'm not talking this because I think I know everything. I'm talking it because I walked it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So you can't come around me with those little creepy little corners y'all be trying to come around. Because guess what? I got something to say for it, whatever you say, because I'm a junkie. How about that? You follow? I'm not in the book with this.
Hello.
I'm in real life with this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I have no shame to my game, but I am still growing.
Yep.
You follow? And they respect that. This is why I'm saying we have a language of our own, that we can understand. You may not. Yeah. And it's the connect. You may not understand it. I'm trying my best not to even cuss no more, y'all.
It's real.
I think I'm off the F words pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at that point where the addiction for that is time to go. You know what I mean? I got to clean that part of me up too. But when I'm around my clients, you know what I mean? That type of talk is what gets them. It draws their attention. It draws our attention. You know what I mean? We feel like you real. We feel like you down. You know what I'm saying?
You're one of us.
You just one of us. She ain't corny.
No,
you know what I mean? And this is what they say. Truly, honestly. Just like we used to say about Doc Watson and well, Laverne Todd didn't do no cussing. You know what I mean? Because he was a pastor. You follow what I'm saying? But Doc gonna cuss you out from head to toe. I mean, head to toe. So Laverne had a lot to do with the humble side. You know what I'm saying? But when I tell you, he talked to me night after night, night after night. Anytime I called him, he answered that phone.
That's
and
important.
If he didn't answer that phone because he was a busy man, he did answer later. You follow what I'm saying? And I learned how to respect that from him. Because just like my clients, if I tell them, hey, look, I'm going to get with you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I can't not do it.
Right.
I can't not do that when I said I was going to do for them.
You made a promise.
Because I gave them my commitment.
That word.
You know what I'm saying? I gave them my commitment. And if I can't do it, I'm going to tell you why it can't be done.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because there's rules and regulations to everything, even our relationships.
Yep.
Working in a facility. But outside the facility, in the rooms or this and that, I'm going to give you just what we get. I bring the room pretty much in there. You know what I mean? But I let them know everything that I've learned about this powerful disease. I let them know all of it.
And you've had it from both sides. You have the educational part that you seek on your own, and you have the part of about the work that you do. Well, three sides: the work that you do, but as well as you actually going through this step by
my experiences is my strength. My experiences is my strength, and that means my walking the walk. I can talk the talk.
That's what makes
I
you
understand it. I understand them. You know what I mean? And I fight the struggle every day, but I'm no different than they are. And I would never make them think that I am.
That you're on this
you know what I'm saying? Because that's right. Because I'm an addict, and I would never not say that I'm not an addict because I know I can't.
That's powerful that you say that, because a lot of people are like, oh well,
Oh, some people walking around here like they never did it.
More and they never did it, but like you were once there. You were once there, and I think it's like a coping mechanism for them to hide it and cover it up and try to bury it because they think that they're this new person. That might be true that you are a new person, but at the end of the day, own up what you've been through. Own up to your journey. Like myself, again, I haven't been through addiction. I haven't felt what that is. However, it doesn't stop me from learning.
Somebody that's been through it?
Know somebody.
That's more than enough. You understand what I'm saying? Because all of us know somebody or have a family member or it's us ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we are some judgmental people. You follow what I'm saying? And people will laugh and grin in your face and act like, oh, girl, do that. That's good for you and this and that. And then when soon you going, they saying some other stuff. You know what I mean? But like I say, sticks and stones can break my bones, but names don't hurt me. And I tell my clients the same thing because you just got people, places, and things, you know what I mean? They're just not going to get it. You know what I mean? They're not going to look at you different. They're going to keep your past, your future. But for me, keeping my past, your future, is making my future stronger. You understand? You got to grab this thing in the way of saying, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Look, you can feel anything you want, but please bring it. Keep on bringing it because it doesn't hurt me. It strengthens me. Exactly. I don't know that's just disease bringing it through people. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised to people. You know what I mean? Some people don't like it because you got better. Some people don't like it because you can sit down and have an intellectual conversation with them now and understand what they're saying.
And pay attention.
You know what I mean? And pay attention. Some people don't like it because you look better. You know what I mean? I feel like I look better than I did when I thought I looked good. You follow what I'm saying? Because I feel good. I feel real good and real strong about me because I have a love that's powerful. You know what I mean? I have a love that surrounds me by my God. You know what I'm saying? Who told me, love yourself.
Love
You
yourself.
know what I mean? Love yourself. Because you have to learn how to love yourself before you can love anybody else.
And be encouraged.
Absolutely.
Be encouraged.
And don't feel like you know everything. You know, what I was doing was ugly. Who I am is beautiful.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying? And this is how I talk. This is how I feel. This is how I give my information to the still suffering addicts and alcoholics today. I let my clients know today, all of you are beautiful women. All of you are great mothers. You know what I mean? And great fathers. You know, you just got to turn all your energy against your disease.
That's right.
You know, so you got to sit down here and learn how to listen so you can hear, so you can start to see.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can't be all or halfway in it. You got to be all the way in it.
That's right. Investment in yourself is
Isn't
real.
it? Exactly.
It's real.
You got to invest all this in you. In spite of anybody else you're going to hurt. A lot of the questions I was getting is though, but when I get clean, they don't give me my credit. You're not the victim.
Yeah.
You're the victimizer.
Mm-hmm.
You did all of this.
Yeah.
You got some surrendering to do. So that means you got some homework to do.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you said that.
That's right.
Because you really believe that.
We got work to do.
You got to come to believe that you are the one that caused this damage because you did.
That's right.
Well, my mom used to drink and they used to party. Well, that don't mean you had to do it.
That's right.
But even though that torch is going that way, you could put this fire out.
Literally.
You could put that fire out so yours won't look at you and think that it's fun.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
I looked at a lot of other people, older people, popular people, and I thought that it was great. I thought that it was fun. You follow? Just like the thing with the love. Yeah. You know, not telling my kids I love them. Well, that's the way the torch came to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when my kids started telling me that, that's not what I was doing, I put that torch out and I relit our torch.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So now me and all my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids tell each other we love us.
One accord.
One accord. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So even in drug and alcohol, not that I'm saying it's easy, you know what I mean? It's you don't have, just because you come from a family of that and you come from that type of surrounding don't mean that you have to be that.
At all.
Don't mean that you have to be that.
At all.
You follow? You can break the chain. Is that what they call it? You can break the chain. I call it the torch.
I used to walk to school through, I know you remember Deshaun Park, of course.
Absolutely.
I used to walk through Deshaun Park. Mm-hmm. You used to see guys and ladies, they would drink their 411s, they would drink their beer, whatever the case may be, and they would speak, and they will be functional, they'll be laughing, and they'll be socializing, they may be eating hoagies. However, they were dealing with something.
Absolutely.
Bigger than what you could see. They were smiling, and the outside you can see them, but inside they were hurting.
Absolutely.
And for me, I never wavered in not speaking to those people. Like I spoke to them as they were human beings because
that would
they were.
Their day.
And it made their day.
That would make their day.
They were like, be so happy and like,
that would make
how was school today, young man? Like, oh, you dressed nice with a suit and tie on. Like, they will always compliment me. But I knew once when I left from out of that area, they went back to
what they were doing.
Sadness.
That sadness and that, yeah. That's another thing. Is a lot of us now, it's like our generation is really turning the torch. Turning around. A lot of us are becoming pastors. A lot of us becoming real religious. A lot of us getting in recovery. You know what I mean? A lot of us paying attention more to the still suffering and the homeless and all of that. You know what I mean? The devil mad at us. He real mad at us. You know what I mean? Because we flipping. We putting the old torch out and we lighting a new one. You know what I mean? And it's helping people.
It is.
It's helping people. The numbers on here shows me that we're helping people.
That's right.
You follow what I'm saying? We're helping people.
Even if it was only one person on here, your message alone.
Oh, well done. Well said. Well done.
Well
if it's just one person, I say that from the beginning all the time. Right. I tell my clients, I tell everybody that I deal, and it's that's every part of my speech is that, because it only takes one. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they used to say, there's only going to be one person that's going to leave this rehab. I disagree.
Wow.
I
They
disagree.
would say that
Even
about
though I was the one that wasn't supposed to get it. You know what I mean? I was the one they had their bets on.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm the only one
Wow.
that left that rehab.
Wow.
You follow what I'm
A lot of
saying?
people thought
And
you weren't
still
gonna make it.
standing to this day. Absolutely. Because you try to stop and quit on your own so many times. People start betting on you and stuff.
Right.
Dealers, it's funny to them.
Or they won't last long.
It's funny to them.
Yeah.
They be back.
They won't do
You
great
know what I
things
mean?
in life.
But it's funny to them. They burnt out now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, we burnt out for the moment. It's true, we are. We burnt out for the moment. But
We
see,
claim
we have,
victory.
we there you go.
Claim
Say it
victory.
again. You know, we have a way that we can come back.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we, the ones who have come back, have to keep spreading that word.
Literally.
We have to keep looking after the still suffering. Because see, that's how I got clean. Because they looked after me. You know, they guided me through this.
Right.
You follow? There's people in there that I thought I didn't even like. You know how we don't like people?
Yeah.
You know
Just
what
the
I
energy
mean?
isn't
People
right.
I had fights with, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
You follow what I'm saying? And they was open arms.
Wow.
They put that thing down. And they lived in that God.
Wow.
You
They lived
follow?
in their truth.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because recovery is all about truth. You got to get honest. See, all these things, these are sacred things when it comes to disease. It melts it. It de-strengths it. You know what I mean? And it builds your strength up. That you become stronger than it, but you got to know that you're still fighting it for the rest of your life.
You know what amazes me is how much you've had faith as a mustard seed. You know how small a mustard seed is? Very, very small. And you had the small inkling of faith just to keep going and to share your message and keep walking. And to hear people who doubted you and said that you weren't going to make it, it was like, wow. Like, you're sitting here and you're really a testimony to what can be and what can happen. And also, I was reading a book by Michelle Obama. It's called Becoming. And to see how you're still becoming.
I'm still
Like,
becoming.
you're still
That's the
becoming,
truth.
and along with those
That
other
is
people as
a
well.
truth.
And it's like, wow, we're becoming. And every day it's about evolving and being a better person.
And
than
you're
were yesterday.
involving yourself around the right things.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you're also aware of the wrong things. So you're learning right and wrong.
Right.
You know, something that parents taught us.
Right.
You know what I mean? That we chose society and forgot all about. Because see, once we choose the street, we choose society, parents don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? That don't mean that we don't respect them, but we're dedicated. Yeah. We done dedicate ourselves to the street.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And it starts in school. It starts in school. It starts on the outside of the home, not on the inside of the home. Inside of the home gonna be what it be. Hey, Edwina. You know, we start on the outside of the home. You know, but we wear the mask on the inside of the home, regardless of what's going on in there. And unless, like, some of us come from families that they're just partying people, and that's just in your way, in your face. That's the norm. That's the norm of us.
Oh, I did it because
you
my
know?
daddy did it.
Hey, look, they did it. My daddy worked. My dad worked. My dad was the quote unquote functional alcoholic. Crazy as hell. You follow what I'm saying? It was just a lifestyle of like, dang, I mean, like, why he do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a kid, like, why he do this? Why he want to hit my mom? You know what I'm saying? And then want to get us, you know, after that. These are things that we can't talk about, and it just stirred up the brain.
It's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, it's like imbalancing a child. You know what I mean? And not allowing that child. I'm unhappy right then and there. You know? But when I go outside and play, I'm still unhappy because I don't have the same things that the other kids have.
Right.
I'm the baby kids on the street.
And I see
you know
kids
what I mean?
in the park playing with
And
their
then,
mom and dad.
look. Y'all know I shared this before. All I ever wanted was a Malibu Barbie.
They were popular back then.
They was getting Malibu Barbies and the moving wheel cars, and I still had the paper dolls. I had to walk my doll like this, you know what I mean? And get the paper and flip the little white hooks on the side of it. You know what I'm saying? You think I ain't get laughed at as a child? You know, and Barbie was rolling after that. Barbie was like that.
You had
I had that Barbie, you know what I mean? I was still carrying my Barbie with the little plastic the case, right, with the plastic Barbie on it. Man, Barbie had a house.
Oh, man. No PT.
Barbie had a house, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that made me fight too.
Yeah.
Because I ain't like to be teased. These are painful things.
Very.
These are very painful things, you know, that you had to go through and come through. So, you know, you choose, you know, the opposite
Mm-hmm.
of that. You become mean. You use your mean instincts more. You know what I mean? You use your little slick self more. You know what I mean? All the wrong things, you know? And you know, Easy Bake Oven and all that stuff was the toys back then. I had one, but it wasn't Easy Bake Oven. Same thing my kids used to tell me when Save-A-Lot came. They used to get Fruit Loops. When Save-A-Lot came, they got Fruit Loops. You know what I'm saying?
Telling our
They
truth.
didn't have Cocoa Puffs. They had Cocoa Dots.
Oh,
You follow?
boy.
And them kids wouldn't eat it. I used to get mad, but I didn't realize I was doing the same thing to them that I had to accept as a child, just for us to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
This thing is real.
My kids today is just bougie. They don't do nothing that's not a name brand. You know what I
and how
mean?
can you speak about that? The sacrifice is real.
Yes.
It's real.
Yes.
It's real.
And you don't pay these things no mind,
No
then
mind.
you suppress them as you get older.
Yeah.
You know, like they didn't happen because the choices that you make
You
transform
said
them.
Barbie also had Ken. You didn't have a Ken doll, did you?
I ain't had a kid. I ain't had a kid, y'all. All I wanted was a Malibu Barbie. But guess what? I shared that with my son Amir. And one day, he has a heart like that. My son like to do things out of clear blue. You'll forget you even said it. You know what I mean? Never did. And my son called me, and he said, he was out front. He said, Deuce, come out front.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out front, and he hands me a Malibu Barbie.
Wow.
It is upstairs on my wall to this day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I felt so special. He fulfilled something in my childhood.
Your void.
He did it.
He did.
You know what I mean? He found me a Malibu Barbie. She walked, flipped, she did all kinds of stuff. She's still in the box. I'm gonna have her forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I got that Malibu Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so special.
And you cherished it.
And I cherish it to this day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He fulfilled one of my childhood dreams.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He brought happiness to my life with a doll baby.
That's amazing.
It had to be like about maybe 6 years ago.
That is one of the best stories that I've heard. The other story
Yeah.
I heard was a young man from Chester took his mom to prom, and she didn't go to her prom for whatever reason. But he said, "I want to take my
Ain't that
mom to
beautiful?
my senior prom."
Ain't
And
that
to hear
beautiful?
your story about this was amazing.
Hey, Tyra!
Amazing. Hey, Tyra Star.
Mama, how you doing?
Tyra Star will be performing at. She'll be performing at Juneteenth this year in Chester with all the other artists.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's doing a lot of great things as a
She's
business
awesome.
owner.
She's awesome.
And
Yes, she
as a
is.
performer, she's still doing her thing, singing.
Hey,
all
look, y'all,
across
I
the
heard
world.
her voice. And you know where, you know my head. You know me with putting stuff together. I gotta have her. I gotta have her in the celebration.
Thinking of a master plan.
Yeah, I gotta have her in the celebration. This girl got a voice
Yes,
out
she
of this
does.
world.
True gift.
Out of this world. Absolutely. And when I went to her to have the event there, she was open. She was giving me the ideas of what to do. You know what I mean? I felt her, and it's real.
Mm.
You follow? And it's real. You know? It's like I've been knowing her forever.
For a lifetime.
Forever. She keep it real. I keep it real. Just our conversations was like dynamite.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I judge no one from somebody else. I judge any and everybody for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what people say about them or how it come because I'm good at that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm good at that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody deserves a beginning. I don't put myself with nobody, with you, with nobody, because somebody told me something about you. You may not be that person with me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I might be good for you as well as you good for me. Look at us now.
Exactly.
And this is one of my hosts, y'all. Did I say that? Yeah. This is one of my hosts, because guess what? This thing is going to be live. Because when you walk up on the purple carpet, this man going to be out there, what? Interviewing everybody. You coming in. You know what I mean? He gonna interview everybody. We gonna have this thing set up so beautifully, y'all. Y'all know what I do. You follow what I'm saying? And it's all coming from the heart. It's all up. Let me see some hearts. Y'all know I love these hearts. And don't think I don't have my hearts on today, because I do. Y'all know I keep them hearts on. You hear what I'm saying? Let me send y'all some hearts, because I just love y'all. I do. I do. I love them all. Because I'm talking the truth. I'm talking the real deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guess what, y'all? The tickets are going great. And I can only have 150, so y'all got to get these tickets.
Fast.
Y'all got to get these tickets, because I have 22 honorees.
20.
And every one of them will be honored. Every one. You know, and they have families and loved ones that want to come, you know, and join these tables. And I want everybody to have an opportunity to come just to experience it. You know what I mean? People in recovery have a good time. People in recovery have fun. You know what I mean? We party. You know, I got the DJ now. You know what I mean? I got entertainment that is going to come for me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want y'all to feel beautiful. Yeah. I want you to feel special as you are. Because guess what? We helping people. We are helping people. Yes, I love them hearts. And believe me, there's a lot of people that's watching this because they could feel the love too. They could feel the authenticness in this program. I mean, y'all know I think I'm on TV now. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing make you feel like you're on TV. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I ain't Oprah, but I'm Tracy. You follow what I'm saying? I'm still that same Tracy. My heart always been this way.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? My heart was caught by the disease that's cunning, baffling, and powerful, that took me and turned me into a beast, took all my life, all my breath, all my soul, had me weighing 82 and a half freaking pounds, looking crazy as I don't know what, and it took me time to get out of all those defects, you know what I'm saying, that I had, the after effects of drug and alcohol. I don't know if I shared this with y'all before. I used to do like this. My mouth. Y'all know when people getting high, my mouth used to be like this. It did it for like 2 years
Really?
2 years or more after I became clean.
Wow.
I prayed, I asked God, you know, am I going to always be doing this? Yeah. And I used to do this with my legs, right? I used to do this when I start ill, and that's when they want me to get out the smokehouses and stuff, because I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready. Somebody done stole my stuff, and I know I done smoked it all up, and my mind said I didn't, so I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But today I can tell you I did. You know, so I'm going to blame it on you that you stole it.
Yep.
You follow? It's insanity. It's insane. It takes you and it turns you into this monster. Yeah, you know what I mean? And everything is telling you, you believe. You know what I mean? Then you become this nutball. You follow? Yeah. You become this nutball. But guess what? This thing stopped maybe 5 years in recovery. One stopped. And then maybe a good 3 years or so, the other stopped. And today I have my normalcy back.
Wow.
I'm not doing this no more.
It's so interesting how your limbs will testify against you. Absolutely. It's like, wow, it took 5 for this one to stop, it took 3 for this one to stop, it took a minute for you to really regroup and regather, but...
LC Logan, what's up, baby?
She is such a beautiful person.
What's up, girl? I need you to come to your old job tomorrow. At, what time I say it was? At 5, was it 5 or 6?
It said 5.
5 o'clock. I'll call you, because I want you to be here. If there's any of you that can come and support, you know, Savage Sisters, you know, we're trying to bring in help for still suffering, you know, homelessness, you know, and all of it, trying to bring the truck here. So, you know how they out there sleeping outside. They'll have a place to clean themselves up. They'll help them clean their wounds. They're trying to open up more houses for them, recovery houses, you know, and all. They come in and just talk about it, you know, with the community, you know. So, you know, if you have people that's out there like that, look, they're here to help. This young lady, her name is Sarah. She's another one that's being honored in my at the anniversary. And this young lady was my client. You know, this young lady been clean, and let me tell y'all something. She doing things. You hear me? God got to walk for her. You hear me? This woman is dealing with the sin. I mean, she up there fighting for Kensington. You know what I mean? She opened up somehow. This girl, heart and soul. And if you heard her story, all you could do is shout and say hallelujah. All you can do is say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for saving this young lady. You know what I mean? And she has every bit of her senses and more. And she has a heart now. and she feels that hard, and she fights hard and work hard for the still suffering. She does, and they have grants, and they want to bring it here. It's not costing us anything. You know what I mean? And she wants to bring it here. You follow, in Chester. You know, so she need us to, to say what you feel about this idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
How can we make it work?
How can we make this happen here? You know what I mean? But we know our Chester, you know what I'm saying? And we don't want that in it. We want love, honesty, empathy, sympathy, help. You know what I mean? All that. We want all that for our people that's still out here suffering and don't have nowhere to go, living up there at the library, at Deshaun Park, and all the parks and all over the places, the train stations and all that kind of stuff. The same people you go out and you support them and take food, you know what I mean, for them. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, like, help isn't going to just come from the outside. We need help from the inside of our hometown. I've always promised myself, no matter how much education I get, and no matter how much money or finances I may receive in this lifetime, I want to be a part of the process where I was born and raised in to make our community better.
Go ahead.
And I think that we really, really, really have to normalize that you can be a part of your community to help rebuild it and help it grow. I know that it's a lot of talk around losing the hospital, which is so vital to our community. A hospital that treats for mental health.
Where are they going to go now?
Where are they going to go now?
Where are they going now?
Programs like that are really important to be in our community and to help counsel our people. This thing is so real as far as mental health. Those people from Kensington is coming down to Chester.
Absolutely.
It's no coincidence. They're sleeping in our parks. They're sleeping on our street corners and our transportation centers.
And guess what? We go up there too. That's why you can't find a lot of your people, because they're right up in Kensington.
Right up there.
You know what I'm saying? Because in Kensington it was allowed to do this.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can sit down and shoot dope right in front of cops, and they're not gonna do nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
That's look at you while you're on the ground.
That's not good.
Suffering.
Then you got this trek. It's called, where y'all seeing them bend over like this for hours and stuff, standing up, they be like this on one leg and all that stuff, zombified. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's bad. My clients told me today that it's some dope out there. Y'all wait for this one. This one gonna kill you. This one gonna have you on the floor. And then I tell y'all, every generation they change the names of the drugs and all that stuff. It's called Michael Jackson. Can you?
Michael Jackson.
Dope. Called Michael Jackson.
That's a shame. The only Michael Jackson I know is a singer.
Michael Jackson.
Wow.
The craziness, the insanity of this, because they all knew that he used to get lit. He was tore up from the floor up.
Wow.
They called the dope Michael Jackson.
It's crazy.
The insanity of it.
Very much.
The insanity of it. I want some Michael Jackson. Can you imagine that?
It's wild.
They're going to have you call Prince next. You know what I mean? It's such a sick thing. It's such a sick connection of the world, and how, they just don't have any type of...
Don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue. We don't have a clue. I could tell you 10 different names of weed when I was smoking it. I can tell you at least 6 different names of cocaine when I was smoking that. And now it's not even the same thing. I can't even keep up with the names no more.
So many different names.
I can't even keep up with it. Y'all, let's wake up. Let's get on this. Let's welcome our Savage Sisters and them in, just so you can hear what she has to say. You know what I mean? And what can she do? You know what I mean? To create this. Let's fight for the help, because they're not getting it
at all.
They're not getting it.
And it's so interesting.
And these are our people.
It's just so interesting.
These are our people. These are our sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying?
It's so interesting because when you look at even law enforcement, they're not trained to deal with people that are mentally ill.
Yep.
And also drug and alcohol.
Yep.
Consumed. And it's like, what are we doing to support those that aren't aware. And I'm happy that you have me on today to talk about your addiction and the current conditions of our people that are dealing with this, because it's like we need to know. Hey, you guys, we need to know how to better approach and better handle people with love and care, and also dignity, because at the end of the day, they're still people and they're still human beings, and that they exist and they matter. So it's a lot. It's a lot indeed. I will get involved, with God's people. I love that.
Hey, Pam.
I love that.
Let me go through some of these names. My sweetie, Erica. Hey, Erica Tillery. I love her so much.
Love her so much.
Nephew Kahim.
I got stuck in Atlanta, and Erica Tillery came to my rescue. I was hosting a show. My flight got a layover. It was crazy. I was stuck down there. It was snowing real crazy, but she came to my rescue and helped me.
She's a sweetie.
Thank you.
She's a sweetie.
That's our story.
Montgomery. Veneer, you getting off tonight, girl. Veneer said that's Satan's job. He never stops. So real.
That's real.
So surreal.
That's real.
He don't. Antoinette. Hey, is that my niece, Antoinette? Hey,
Hey.
girl. How you doing? And Nasir, she said hello to both of us. Ginger,
Nice.
Gwen, hey, beautiful. Who would that say? Jonah?
Let's say Miss Tell. Hey, Miss Tell.
Hey, Miss Tell.
I don't want to butcher your
I be
name.
butchering your names up. Y'all know, and I don't even have my
We still
glasses
love
in
y'all.
here right now. We sure do. Aline Abdullah, that's my nephew, always on. I love your support, nephew, so much. I really do. I love your support so much.
Shout out to your family.
Stacy, hey Stacy.
Stacy.
That's one of my baby girls too. One of my clients. My sister Dion, hey D.
Hey.
Hey D, love you sis. My nephew, friends, I love how my family support me. You know, I'm telling you, they show up, and these the young ones. They show up, baby. They show up. And my nephew Frank, he is now a photographer, y'all. Frank, put your information on here so people can see it and know it, because you know I'll tear the name up.
Hey, I need
so
you, man.
Put that on here. Yeah, he'll be there too, y'all, at the anniversary. He'll be there as well, supporting his auntie. Hi, Rosetta Rice Johnson, and how you doing? I ain't seen you a couple weeks. Hey, Lauren, that's my girl. Is that
Dakeem Williams?
Dakeem Williams? Hey, Dakeem.
Another shining star of the city.
Dakeem, another shining star of the city. Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, yeah. I want him there too at the event. Yes. Yes. He talking about preach. Dakeem said preach. Hey, Chrissy.
Hey there.
Chrissy Swiggett. Veneer, again, is saying, your experience is your strength. This is so true, and that is true, babe. Devin Roberts, Steve Bose. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Pam Wesley. Look at all these beautiful people.
Everybody.
I'm telling you. Key Biggs,
hey,
that's
Biggs.
my goddaughter. Veneer said, Veneer getting down on this thing today, yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's always like every week, really. Veneer said, you talking that talk because you walked that wall praying for your strength. Says, living in your truth. Beautiful. May God continue to bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because you know what? I feel his blessings. Believe me, I do. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue as long as I can today. You know, we must take it one day at a time. Hey, Roslyn Cini. Let me tell y'all something about Roz. Roz is the one that got me all hyped up to just go ahead, too, and do this live.
Wow.
I did a live for Roz. You know what I mean? And she pumped me up then.
Wow.
She pumped me up. She kept saying, Tracy, you just got to do it.
You need to do it.
That's what she told me. She said, if you need anything, I got you. That's what she told me. That's what she told me to get started. So I thank you so much, Roz. I hope you can come to the anniversary as well. It's my first anniversary. I'm loving it. I'm so excited. You know. And then we have Marquise. That's my butt. That's my baby on the job. Marquise, always there. What did I say? Kaisha Hollis. She's there. Pam Wesley. Edwina. She was on the show. She was awesome. She's one of the host speakers. at the anniversary as well. Natasha Jackson, you know, I thank everybody. Barb Muhammad, what's up, Barb? I hope you can come. Yes, Barb Muhammad, and you know, again, our girl Tyra Kirkland, Maurice Gidges. That's right, Maurice. I want to see you. I want to see that name on here. And then that's my girl too, Author Visionary LC. Yes, she has such a beautiful heart. You know, she said, yes, for some of us, it was present in our childhood, and that demon follows some of us. What's that mean right there?
Shaking my head.
Shaking my head. Y'all know I know these symbols. Y'all know I don't know these symbols. You know what I mean? So I'm so glad
she was another one. She supported me with my college journey when I went to Mississippi to school, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Beautiful.
I'm still chasing my dreams.
Let's show them hearts. Let's give them hearts up there.
And we making things happen. So
let's give those hearts up there. You know, Deandra Jacob, she's on here. You know, Carla. I thank everybody that came on this live tonight.
So many people.
So many people. And it goes on and on and on. Y'all don't forget.
Miss Wanda Washington.
Yup. Tiffany Gosa. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, Tiffany.
Yup. Cynthia Johnson, that's my girl. We outside, girl. We are outside. That is my girl. Jeffrey. What did it say? Anderson? Jesus Boy Anderson. Tamir, my son. My baby boy. I love him to death. What's that? Shahira. Is that my girl? Is that my number one girl who has been on here from day one? Miss Denise Doward Jones.
Wow.
Mwah.
Nothing like a day one.
That is my girl.
Nothing like
that is my girl. Yes, yes.
I just love this background. It's amazing. Like, it just pops out and jump at you. I love this. This is fabulous.
He goes, hey, Kathleen. That's co-workers on my job. You know.
You're doing it. You have a lot of support.
Hey, look, I love them so much. I really do. I love their support. See, look at my Denise. I love their support so much.
And it's real love.
It's real love. Yes, it is. Y'all make me feel so wanted, so, you know, special. You know what I mean? But what's special about this is you. You're the special ones that help me to help other people. You know what I mean? And I hope on every segment that you guys are learning and getting something strong and more out of this. So is Wanda Washington. Thank you so much, sis, for supporting me, you know, and coming on and always giving me beautiful, you know, what you call it when they send feedback. What is it called?
Reactions.
Yeah. Y'all know I mess words up. Don't even pay me no mind, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Akbar Muhammad. I mean, you guys are just...
The list goes on.
I can't get everybody's name, but everybody knows that I am so grateful for you. And, you know, without you, it would be none of this. You know what I'm saying? You guys help me as well as I'm trying to help somebody. You know what I mean? I need this just as well as you do. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And for people to, you know, start understanding the suffering. You know what I mean? You know, we're just not out there just because we're out there because we're stuck. You know, and we have to learn how to feel again. We have to learn how to think again. And most importantly, we have to learn how to put our thinking and our feeling together to become whole again and able. You know what I mean? And then find something greater than ourselves to help us restore our sanity. You know, so keep on loving your loved ones. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on your friends. You know what I mean? Even though we can say some nasty things and do some nasty things, because we don't have the control. You know, we're doing what that devil had us doing. You know, we're doing what disease says. Like I said, we in trances. You know what I mean? But we are still in there.
Standing.
We are still in there. It's that tunnel. We went in great, but we stuck. You know, but just know that there's a way out. There's the hole. There's the light. It's right there. We got to get through the storm first.
Definitely.
You know, and with help and love and understanding and support, You know what I mean? It works for the ones of us who wants it.
Someone said another shot of hope in the books.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
That's Norman Jackson, and he is so awesome. He's on here all the time. Norman, I want you on this show, though. I want you to come on here and sit on the couch, just like
This
my
couch is
buddy
comfortable.
Nasir is.
It's very
You know
comfortable.
what I mean? I want you to come sit on the couch. You
Oh, yeah.
know, you can just come sit on the couch with me, just like him.
Just talking.
Just talking. This is conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we want the people to be seen who is helping, who is involved,
Big time.
and who cares, and who is concerned. You know what I mean? And that's what he is. You know what I mean? Even in the city. You know what I mean? You just have a very caring heart.
You have
And
to.
I appreciate you because when I asked you, you said no problem.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
You make time for the things that you care about in life. You make time for people that are important to you, and you are important to me. And every time I see you, it's always in the form of service. You've always helped. You always showed up. I literally just hosted an event. You were there helping. I didn't get a dime for helping, but you were there. You were supporting the event, and that event was a lot of fun. And when I got off stage, you said you did one heck of a job, and that
Awesome
made me
job.
feel so
Because you
good.
did it.
Made me feel so good, and that's my
You
passion.
captivated all those people.
I love
and
it.
that last one we did at that young show,
Yes.
you did a great job.
The concert.
You captivate older, middle age, younger, the kids, the whole. That's a power.
That's a gift.
That is a gift. Absolutely.
I'm very grateful for it.
That
you
is a
have
gift.
to use it in the correct way, because if you don't, it will be a self-destruction.
You give back. I'm telling you.
You
You
have
don't know
to.
how many
It's
people
important.
that you made happy, that you helped bring some enlightenment to them.
Wow.
You made them feel something about them. They enjoyed themselves.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's a gift.
Mhm.
That's care, compassion. You know what I mean? And everybody just don't know how to do that or have
all.
that.
At
You know
all.
what I mean? And sometimes the people that feels like that don't know how to do it or have it, you help them to recognize it.
You know, it's so bigger than yourself when you're in those
What is Wanda saying
spaces.
too? Go ahead.
It's so bigger than yourself when you're in those spaces. Like, you know, so many people count on you that you don't even know. You never know who's watching you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. There's more and more people names coming up. Wanda,
So
I want to
many
read
people.
your statement. It says, it's a great space and you are helping people and teaching us how to treat our lost and stuck family and friends. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you know you recognize that and you appreciate that. I'm so
Wow.
glad. We just got to keep on just doing this for all. You know, you're helping me by just saying that. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate you, you know, for these statements. I appreciate everybody, you know, for the beautiful remarks and statements that y'all make. You know, it just makes me feel so fulfilled to know that, you know, it's just not me.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
You're
And
not alone.
people are listening,
Mhm.
you know, and getting to understand this a little better. I know some people don't want to come on and tell, you know, their story, and that's okay, because maybe one day you will. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
there's so many people that feel like, oh, well, I don't understand it, I don't get it, so I'm going to scroll right past your message. But it's like, no, you know, take the time out to listen, take the time out to listen with the intent to share the information.
Mhm.
And as long as you do that, we'll win as a community.
And another thing, just you know, by going by, you know, these 12 steps. Again, y'all can watch YouTube, you know, spread that word, please. They can go on YouTube and watch all the episodes that you and I created. You know what I'm saying? And I go on and watch them. I go on and rewatch them because the topics is so great.
Yeah.
And the topics are so needed. Sometimes I got to go back and revise it again.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because it's never too much. You got to continue to say what you say. You got to continue to repeat and repeat. That's why I said never get bored if I'm saying the same thing that I said last week or the week before, because for a still suffering or a person that's not quite understanding it may get it this time. You know what I mean? And it's always need to be said. So it's always need to be heard. You know, I had somebody on my messenger saying, you know how they try to send you good remarks and bad remarks and all that
Reviews
stuff.
and all
The
that.
reviews and stuff like that. I don't see many bad reviews because most of them are the addicts and the alcoholics. You know what I mean? And most of them are people who are respectful and happy that they're getting a chance and opportunity to learn about it. You know, the things that they don't know. But one person put on there, all she do is repeat herself. You probably one that's getting lit. I'm going to say that. You know what I mean? Or you're just one that don't have a heart to open up.
But also,
you know what I mean?
Is key.
And consistency, that's what I'm getting ready to say. Consistency is key. And in this world and in my lifestyle, you have to be consistent. And you can't forget anything that you say. Right. You know what I mean? It's going to never go away anyway.
It's different.
You know what I mean? And to help somebody, somebody don't get it just like that, because I darn sure didn't.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had to repeat this thing over and over and over and over and over again, and I suggest that to the still suffering.
They say a step and repeat.
And that's right. And I'm going to always repeat a lot of this, because this is how you help people.
That's right.
You know? But with that, because I don't like cold energy. You know what I mean? You know, I truly told him that, oh, okay, I appreciate and understand your suggestion, you know, your words on it, but you ain't got to watch this live. Y'all know I'm going to come back. You know what I mean? Right. You don't have to watch this live. What works for you may not work for the next person. Right. I'm going to leave you with that, and that's the way that I left it.
That's right.
You know, but I'm going to continue to repeat it, and I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to repeat it, because I know this is how it works.
And we talked about it earlier. You can't help everybody. You know, the
that's
ones
right.
that you can help,
that's right.
will receive it.
Hey, Joan Neal.
Hey, Miss Joan, I love you.
Joan Neal.
I love Miss Joan Neal.
Regina, Marie.
Everybody.
Lisa. They'll keep coming. They'll keep coming. Thank y'all so much. I don't even know what time it is. You know, I don't. Look, we got it in again today, y'all. We got it in again today. We always get it in. I thank our higher power for giving us. Is that Ramirez? Hey, what's up? I'm trying to get him on too, y'all. You know,
and also,
one day.
Also, what I would say too is, like, none of this stuff today was scripted. If you think that today was scripted or anything, I'm here to tell you today nothing was scripted.
It
nothing
never
was
is
written down. This is straight off her dome.
This never is.
It's amazing just to see people at work and in their passion, doing what they love to do every day, and you're doing it, and I'm grateful for you.
Thank you. Denise said, repeat me speaking into existence. Go ahead. I know that's right, Denise. And that's what I've been trying to do. That's how we get it. You know what I mean? We just can't say it and then forget about it. We got to keep saying it.
And we got to live
it. You know, we got to keep passing it. You know, because every day is somebody new on this thing.
New.
And I'll go all the way. Y'all see, I always go, well, we're going to do some little relashing today.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's people on here. They go, Ramirez, we trust this process. That's right.
You have people from Chester, Delaware, Philly,
everywhere. There's people all over on here that's watching this. Yeah, it's people all over that's watching it, because we have addicts and alcoholics everywhere.
All across the country.
Everywhere.
All across the globe.
Everywhere. You know? Everywhere.
That's deep.
You know, and that's the blessing of it. This is why I said the best place that this could be presented on is technology.
Big time. On
this thing. You know, they did something good with this. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even used to be on Facebook. And this is the most I've been on Facebook since I, you know, got on. This is what I do. I don't go on Facebook to let people know I traveled to Mexico and I did this and I did that. You know what I mean? My good time is right here, and this is where I'm needed. And Norman, thank you so much. Norman said can you see that? It's two repetition.
One helps save your soul, and that brings you closer to death.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
He needs to be on the show.
Norman?
Mr. Norman needs to be on
Call
the show.
me, please.
Mr. Norman Jackson.
Say, Trace, I'm ready. I'm ready to come on here, and I hope you're coming to the anniversary.
She told me pick a Wednesday. And
what I tell you?
I'm here.
Pick anyone. It could have been 4 months from now, he was getting it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care how long, because I'm going to try to do this weekly. I'm going to continue. That's why I say, if I don't have a guest, y'all know I'm going to sit down and just do it.
That's right. Regardless. I'm
going to sit down and just do it, even if I have to repeat myself.
Absolutely.
So I thank everybody for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that somebody got something out of this. You know what I mean? Spread this, pass it on. Again, if everybody on here push, repeat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can send this message out to many, 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 and many more people. So let's keep on repeating this. Is that what it say? Repeat, right?
Share.
Share. That's what I meant to say. And we can share this, y'all. If everybody share this, you know, we can help many, many more people. And remember, you know, when you share this, you don't have to just share it once. Share it through the days. You know what I mean? Because the more we share it, somebody else is going to pick this up. You know what I'm saying? So I hope Jody Out Loud was watching as well. She has an Alive too that comes on Monday. Y'all is good. You know what I mean? And I get a lot out of it. My girl at Weena has a live that comes on daily every morning. You know what I mean? It's so much information. There's so many people out here who's doing the same thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean? And giving so much information and education and loving people and the consistency of it. You know, so check her out too in the morning. You got Stacy Love. She comes on, you know, in the morning. Stacy does. You know what I mean? And I try to catch a little bit of everybody's. You know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, when some of you come on, it's just like work time, and I'm trying to watch, and I'm moving around, and I'm trying to watch, but I let you know that I'm there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody. Again, thank you for coming on. You know, it's I met with them a week ago, and they are eager. They are eager. Who is this? I can't even see who that was. They a week ago, and they are eager to help. Who is that?
Miss
Barbara Muhammad. Hey, Barb. Look,
love Miss Barbara.
Barb, you gotta call me for real. You do. You know what I mean? Just
another one that supported me with my college friends.
She's a big supporter.
She's
a big supporter.
For years. She's been in the community for years.
For years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Barb, I hope you could be there too. I would love to have you there and see you there. Y'all know I can go on and on and on. Y'all know how I get. Y'all know how I go. I don't even want to get off, but you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, we
it's
all
been
got to work
such an
hard.
awesome
Ain't it
time.
comfortable?
Very comfortable, very relaxed. The conversation just flowed because somebody needed to get the message, and I think they got it tonight.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Yep. Thank y'all so much. And y'all know I like to end out with the serenity prayer. That is the prayer for me every day, all day, every second, almost every minute, because it keeps me serene. It keeps me on the, you know what I mean? So I will go out with God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will. See y'all Wednesday. And y'all get these tickets. Come on and get the rest of these tickets. All right? My Cash App is number 4, letter U by Tracy. If you go through the Cash App, I will definitely have your tickets. Right now, it's the, what is it called? The Moonlight Special. Tickets are $35. After the end of this month, they're going to be $40. Okay? And they are going fast. So I would love for everybody to get the opportunity to come and share this beautiful day with us. All right? So I see you guys again. For You by Tracy.
By Tracy.
$.
$.
For You by Tracy. Get these tickets, y'all. Get these tickets.
Good night.